They are humans, not dogs. Kentucky dad of quintuplets shamed for walking his kids on a leash. Now, this might be a controversial take from me. I'm not sure. Let me know, guys, but I believe that those children leashes should be used more often. I genuinely think they should be used more. They should be encouraged to be used. If you have your kids on leashes, you're going to prevent them from being at risk of getting hit by cars, from getting lost, from getting taken by someone, from annoying other strangers. Like, you mitigate all of those things. Your kids are no longer gonna bother strangers. They're no longer gonna run off or get taken or get hurt. Honestly, this Kentucky dad of quintuplets, he's a responsible dad who's making sure that he's looking after his kids. The facepalm is the report. I think that's the intention of the post, but the facepalm is the report. Special thank you to my YouTube members and patrons for supporting the channel and supporting my content. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today we are going to be returning once again to r/facepalm. Now, before we begin, I just wanted to say apologies if I look a little bit like a corpse right now. I start a new job in like a week and a half, and in the time that I've been off work, my sleep schedule has just been spiraling out of control, and I am having to brute force it back into place. As a result, I'm a bit of a corpse, so apologies for that. The other thing I wanted to mention before we begin is, as always, I am live on Thursdays at 7 PM UK time, so go check that out. I'm painting minis at the moment and it's a good time. This is currently one I'm in the process of painting. Come on, camera. This is one I'm in the process of painting. I'll probably be doing some airbrushing on the stream this week, so go check it out. Will I be doing airbrushing? Probably not, actually, by the time this video's come out. That would have been last week. But, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, let's get into the subreddit, shall we? Have you ever noticed the popularity of white robots? The reason for these shades of technological white may be racism, according to new research. Now imagine spray painting the robots black. CNN headline becomes, "Owning black robots may be a sign of being pro-slavery." Yeah, you probably can't win in this regard, but I actually had a proper discussion with someone about this when I saw this headline, because I saw it a little while ago. And there's a lot of reasons to have your robots in various different colors, and there are a lot of pros and cons for doing both of them. And it's also worth noting that a lot of robots aren't white. Like, if you look at Boston Dynamics, for example, a lot of their robots are black and yellow. But there's a few different reasons for this. I mean, the first one is that it's the flashiest color, right? The majority of robots that we see are being presented in expos, presentations, and that kind of thing, right? And if you're showing something on TV for cameras, having it pristine and white is going to stand out the most, especially on a dark stage where they've usually got a dark backdrop. That robot's gonna stand out. I mean, the advantage of having a black robot is that it could be scuffed or dirty and you wouldn't see that as much, you know? But you also wouldn't be able to see how pristine it is, whereas a white robot would be pristine for these expos. Now, the other reasons that robot color comes in and is in varying levels of importance is camera tracking, right? So if a robot is built to be indoors, it being white is beneficial because it is brighter and therefore it is easier for it to see itself. However, if that robot is then meant to be used outdoors, that white might be too bright and be blown out, at which point black might make it easier to track. However, in a very hot climate, that black will absorb a lot more heat and could cause that robot's CPU or servos or various motors to overheat. There's a lot of different caveats and reasons, you know? I think the reason Boston Dynamics uses a lot of like blacks and yellows and contrasting colors is because that also aids in tracking. But like, it's got nothing to do with white supremacy, right? It's a robot. Saying lab-grown diamonds are fake is like saying ice cubes are fake and only real ice is made outside. Now, there's a lot of replies to this one. I'll just have them on screen right here. You can read them if you want. I'll give you a second to read them. I'm only going to read out one of these, and it's my favorite one because of how stupid it is, but I am just blown away at how many people just really want to support as problematic an industry as the diamond one is, because those things are drenched in blood, right? That's not an unknown thing. blood diamonds is a real issue. Anyway, my favorite comment on these was, if someone told me the drink they made me contained ice they imported from Antarctica, I would think it's super interesting and shows a lot more intention than just having gone to their freezer. It's not about how cold the ice is, it's about the history and actual procurement of the material. And just... If someone handed me a drink with ice in it and went, this ice comes from Antarctica, I'd be going, what the fuck are you doing putting ice from Antarctica in drinks? Keep that. That's a really cool keepsake. You'd keep that in your freezer in a little tub. Why are you putting it in drinks? That's stupid as hell. But honestly, like, I don't understand this obsession with like authentic diamonds. My diamonds have to have been harvested by slaves. Like, what does the history actually matter in a diamond ring? Because it doesn't, right? And also, if you have a diamond ring and it's got lab-grown diamonds on it and you show it off to someone, they're not gonna know a difference. You don't have to tell them it's a lab-grown diamond. You just say it's a diamond. They're not gonna know, and they look exactly the same. The point of a ring is to look nice. It's not to have history behind it. It's to look nice. Dutch volleyball player who R-worded 11-year-old British girl qualifies for Paris Olympics. Steven van der Velde, or Velde, was told by a UK judge in 2016 that his hopes for representing your country now lie as a shattered dream. This one is insane, honestly. Like, not only did he qualify, but the fact that he was even allowed to run, the fact that he's not in prison, like, he should be in prison, and foregoing the fact that he should be in prison, he shouldn't have been allowed to run. And foregoing that, the fact that he also qualified. I mean, Dutch people that are watching this, do you want this guy representing your country? Are people happy to have this guy representing their country? Are Dutch people gonna be happy if this guy wins medals for their country knowing who he is? Because I wouldn't. I would not be at all. Gatun Matarazzo says a Stranger Things fan in her 40s told him, "I've had a crush on you since you were 13, in front of her daughter. He replied, "That's upsetting." Yeah, that's the only response you can really give in that scenario, isn't it? I can't imagine how uncomfortable that would have made him. That's just, that's not okay. That's not an okay thing to say. Whether you're in front of your daughter or not, that's not an okay thing to say. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. Sag Harbor, cop who didn't recognize Justin Timberlake during DWI arrest, is unmasked as rookie Michael Arkinson, and he's been infuriating the Hamptons elite for months. This guy's getting like dunked on for doing his job, and like, I don't understand it. Like, I already really have this disdain for drunk drivers, okay? For anybody driving under the influence, fuck you. There is no excuse, okay? And for someone like Justin Timberlake, okay, who would have been surrounded by people that could have driven him, and who has enough money to pay for any service to drive him where he wants to go, and probably deliberately turned all of those things down to drive after drinking, I have no sympathy, okay? And to then go, this is gonna ruin the tour, and the guy to not recognize him and go, what tour? And him to go, the world tour, is just so pathetic, it's hilarious. But if you didn't want your tour to be ruined by getting a DWI, maybe you shouldn't have been driving while under the influence. Perhaps, Justin, that's on you, bro. Man, I make 6 figures. The 6 figures, 103,000. That's 6 figures. At what point is someone allowed to say they make 6 figures if they're making 6 figures? I mean, it's more telling of the kind of person she is, that she's judging men based on the amount of money they make, and that if a guy is on the lower end of 6 figures, then that's not an acceptable level of 6 figures for her. But like, he's not lying. If he says that, is he? That's 6 figures. Oh my god. Hero or felon? What do you think? Do you support her? Roxanne Green just burned down Wyoming's first abortion clinic just weeks before it was due to open. Her eyes say, "Do what you must. I have already won." No, I don't support her. This is domestic terrorism, is what it is. I mean, can you really classify this as anything else? She saw something happen that she didn't agree with, and so she fucking burnt it down? Something, you know, here's a thing that is a political view that I don't agree with. Therefore, I'm going to burn it down as a preventative measure. And they should know that I would do it again. That's terrorism. That's all that is. That's domestic terrorism. And the fact that people are like, hero or felon, do you support this terrorist who fucking burnt down a building? No, fucking no. Also, absolutely insane that this is Wyoming's first abortion clinic. Like, actually insane. Imagine your kid's high school football coach posting this on Facebook. Take a knee, folks. I don't post on social media much at all, but I want to put an end to the texts and voicemails I've been getting in regards to practice. Look, folks, it's summer. It gets hot. Welcome to Texas. We do 2 days in the summer because it's hot. It builds character and forges boys into men and men into an unbreakable team. Look at our trophy case if you don't believe me. The simple fact is that nobody has ever died from it being too warm outside. So no, we will not be doing 15-minute water breaks every hour or any other suggestion you may have. The players will get breaks when and if myself and the other coaches feel it's warranted. Remember that playing a team sport for this place, high school, is entirely voluntary, and if you or your son don't like it, just have them quit and go join theater camp where they can sit inside in the air conditioning all day and use their pronouns. But as long as they're on my field, I believe in work, not woke. That is all. Ah yes, because hydrating and not getting heat stroke is woke now. Seriously, like, people going, yeah, maybe in Texas summer my kids should be allowed to have like water breaks. What? I bet they use pronouns too. I mean, first of all, this post is full of pronouns because, as always, they don't know what that means. As always, I mean, unsurprising that this is a sports teacher, because you know the saying, those that can't teach and those that can't teach sports. But honestly, I just have to point out, he really said the simple fact is that nobody has ever died from it being too warm outside. Now, literally thousands of people, like a few thousand people in America and a few thousand people more in the UK, die from the hot weather every year. Every single year. It's insane that more people die from it in the UK than the US. That shows you how ill-equipped we are for the summer. But the simple fact of it is, people do in fact die from the hot weather. You can die from heat stroke. You can be made severely unwell from being dehydrated and in the hot weather, okay? People do die from it. And saying that that never happens is insane. And it is not woke to go, I would like my child to not get heat stroke, actually. And it's also worth noting that the weather is getting hotter, okay? And more people are dying from heat-related causes every single year, okay? We have seen record amounts in the last few years. Record amounts, because it is getting hotter and more people are dying from it. So of course, parents are not gonna want their kids to get heat stroke and risk potential illness or death. Crazy that, isn't it? Insane. The fucking batshit sports teacher who shouldn't be in charge of children. This person should not be in charge of children or teenagers at all if he is not willing to let them hydrate. I mean, come on. Insane. There was a security breach at Trump's Detroit Turning Point USA event. Everyone had to leave and go through the metal detectors again or be rewanded to ensure they were disarmed for Trump. Trump events are no guns allowed. We're confused. Wouldn't more guns make it safer? Yeah, I mean, I thought that more good guys with guns prevented the bad guys with guns. And they're keeping the good guys with guns out of their events? Like, that makes it safer, right? That's what they've been saying. That's what they've been saying about everything else. Good guys with guns stops bad guys with guns. And now you're telling me they're not letting the good guys with guns in to keep their events safer? I just don't get the message they're trying to convey here. It's just a bit confusing. It's just a bit confusing, isn't it? That's so weird, isn't it? It's so weird. I mean, yeah, they don't actually believe in the messages they preach. Surprise, surprise. They believe in it when they're trying to, you know, brainwash other people into believing these things because it makes them money. But as soon as they're at risk, they don't actually believe those things, guys. It's the same with vaccines. All of these rich conservative arseholes that are anti-vax are all vaccinated. They just tell you not to be because it makes them money. So Biden's $15 minimum wage comes out to $31,000 a year for a 40-hour work week. The starting salary for a beginning teacher in Texas is $33,000. So a person working a minimum wage job will be making almost the same as a teacher with a college degree. Does this make any sense? Clay, you're right, but you're just missing the point. You're so nearly there, okay? The fact of the matter is, teachers with a college degree should be earning more than what is deemed basically the bare minimum living wage. That's the problem. The problem is that currently teachers are severely underpaid. It's not that other people should be paid less, it's that those people should be paid a living wage and teachers should be paid more. They should be paid what they're worth. But these people just get the wrong point. They go, but if we pay poor people more, they'll be getting paid almost as much as these slightly less poor people. Maybe the slightly less poor people shouldn't be slightly less poor. They should not be poor. Right? Pay teachers what they're worth, for fuck's sake. Stop pitting poor people against other poor people and start going, maybe none of these people should be living in poverty and maybe we should do something about that. You have stolen my childhood. Greta Thunberg, in a picture of her next to a kid working. Actually, she said, you have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering, people are dying, entire ecosystems are collapsing. Complete the quote, dumbass. Yeah, it's wild that someone is using a Greta Thunberg quote to discredit her by misquoting it and using it in the exact opposite of what she meant. In this exact statement, she's literally talking about these images, right? She's talking about the fact that she is privileged enough to be okay, but other people are having their childhood stolen by the fact level of capitalism and how that affects everything, right? And they're like, man, look how good she's doing versus these kids, and she's saying that she had her childhood stolen. Like, she's literally talking about them. That's the whole point of her quote. It's just amazes me how often people try and use quotes to mean the opposite thing of what those quotes actually mean, you know? A really good example is blood is thicker than water. A lot of people might know this now because it has been slowly spread throughout pop culture, but blood is thicker than water actually means the opposite of what most people think it means, right? A lot of people use it to mean like family is a tighter bond than companionship, you know? But the original quote is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, which literally means that the bonds you form and the brothers you make are stronger bonds than family. But people use it to mean the complete opposite thing. And the final post, we got a just a stupid one, but it's not political, it's just dumb, and that's why I wanted to end on it. Here's why I'll be keeping my shoes on in your shoeless home. Why are you assuming that your guests' shoes are dirtier than your floors? Because we clean our floors. People clean their floors. And we don't wear the floors on our feet outside. The whole point of shoes is to get dirty. The whole point of shoes is to protect your feet so the shoes get dirty and your feet don't. You wear them outside. Whether it's dry or raining, you're wearing them outside on dirty pavements, on mud, on grass, on gravel, whatever it is you wear them on, you are wearing them outside where they are collecting dirt. And you know what happens inside? In my house, we clean our floors. That's how I know my floors are cleaner than people's shoes, because even if they're a brand new pair of shoes that you got today, you had to wear them on the way to my house. I rest my case. And that's where I'm going to end the video, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed. If you would like to support me in making more content like this, then I have a Patreon in the description down below, or equally you can click on that join button on the channel to support me. It helps a lot more than you might realize, but by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. A huge, massive special thank you to all of the the wonderful, amazing people that do support the channel. It genuinely helps an insane amount, so thank you so much to everyone that does, genuinely. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.